Good Wednesday evening, April 23rd, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. An East Wenatchee landlord accused of fatally shooting his tenant Friday night has now been formally charged with the crime. A leader for the city of Chalan will retire this fall. Get ready for sunny skies and much warmer temperatures over the next several days. Your full local weather forecast is coming up. A driver is dead after crashing into a Moses Lake utility pole while allegedly fleeing police this morning. The Washington State Patrol says it happened about 4:45 a.m. when the driver of a 2001 Buick Century was traveling south on Lakeshore Drive while eluding both Moses Lake Police and Grant County Sheriff's deputies. Troopers say the crash occurred when the car failed to negotiate a left-hand curve and went off the road to run head-on into the utility pole. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. Their identity has not been made public pending notification of family members. The crash took down electricity to the peninsula neighborhood of Moses Lake for about 3 hours this morning. The precise cause of the accident is under investigation. A Moses Lake semi-driver has been cited for allegedly causing a highway work zone crash on Tuesday that injured a Department of Transportation operator. 60-year-old Elazar Moreno was charged with reckless driving after the 10 a.m. crash. The Washington State Patrol says Moreno was eastbound on Interstate 90 near Easton, where a DOT crew had closed one lane to conduct highway work. Moreno allegedly failed to move into the open lane, and his 2010 Peterbilt struck a DOT truck that was stationary in the closed area. Moreno was not injured, but DOT driver Daryl D. Lee of Kittitas was on board the truck and was taken to Kittitas Valley Hospital for treatment. The Department of Transportation says Lee's injuries were not serious. Both vehicles involved in the crash were totaled. An East Wenatchee landlord accused of fatally shooting his tenant Friday night has now been formally charged with the crime. Juan Luis Estrada Lopez was charged Tuesday in Douglas County Superior Court with first-degree murder, assault, and burglary. East Wenatchee police say the 40-year-old Estrada entered the home of his neighbor and tenant, Gregorio Garza Sr., and shot him once with a handgun. Garza was 48. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Estrada allegedly pointed the gun at a witness before leaving Garza's home. Investigators say Estrada admitted to them, as well as to relatives, that he shot Garza. A search of his residence recovered a 9mm pistol. Estrada is now held on $5 million bail and scheduled to be arraigned on the criminal charges May 1st in Waterville. Voters in the Cascade Medical Center Hospital District overwhelmingly approved the tax levy that pays for their emergency medical service on Tuesday. With a 77% vote in favor, the tax rate of 50 cents per $1,000 of assessed property value will remain in force in the district, which stretches for 1,200 square miles and encompasses Leavenworth, Lake Wenatchee, Plain, Peshaston, and Dryden. Administrators say the levy brings in 20% of the total cost of ambulance and emergency room care in the district. The levy has to be reapproved every 6 years. This vote is a near repeat of the 2019 ballot, when residents preserved the levy by a margin of 80% to 20%. When we come back, specialty license plates are everywhere in Washington, and lawmakers in Olympia are taking a closer look at the trend. A data breach recently occurred at the Grant County PUD and compromised the personal data of nearly 850 employees. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Central Washington Water is home to the Hot Spring Spa for over 45 years. Come see the Freshwater Smart IQ. It monitors your saltwater spa's pH balance, chlorine, and more. Or the cold plunge tub that will leave you feeling rejuvenated. Plug-and-play spas make hot tubbing easy. With great financing available, cold water, salt water, hot water, Central Washington Water has a spa for your budget and your lifestyle. Stop by today.
It's Click It RV's 4th annual Family RV Sales Event, April 24th through the 27th. Get amazing discount prices from manufacturers from across the country, like Grand Design, StarCraft, and more. And get $2,500 over NADA for your trade. There's amazing financing with nothing down, low rates, and no payments for 90 days. And talk about giveaways. Win a StarCraft trailer or $30,000 in cash. There's free refreshments and games for the whole family. And just for fun, dunk your salesman in the dunk tank. So beat the coming tariffs and don't miss the 4th annual Family RV Event at Click It RV, April 24th through the 27th.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect, no matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Specialty license plates are everywhere in Washington, with designs and proceeds supporting sports teams or good causes. And now lawmakers in Olympia are taking a closer look at the trend. From the Olympia News Bureau, Murrow News fellow Albert James shows us why plates are on their mind, even though they only have days before adjourning.
I see these plates and not only enjoy how they add to the boring task of driving on the road, but I'm also happy to know that the purchase of the plate went to a good cause.
Senate Bill 5444 would make up to 13 new special design license plates, including ones for Mount St. Helens, Pickleball, and Smokey the Bear.
This is important not only because it raises funds for wildfire prevention programs, but it really does raise awareness for preventing wildfires.
But the bill also establishes a moratorium on any new special designs and creates a work group to study rules around proposing plates. The state offers over 60 special design plates, with DOO data showing the most popular are the WSU, National Parks, and Seahawks plates. On the other hand, plates around tennis, the Seattle Storm, and Future Farmers of America are the least popular. Democratic Prime sponsor Adrian Cortez says a review is necessary as some plates make it into production without vetting on how popular they'd be.
This work group will establish different parameters in terms of how many signatures you need to gather to put a specialty license plate, what the amount of money that these groups can raise on these specialty license plates.
But why are lawmakers talking about this now, at a time where they're racing against the clock to pass a balanced budget with funding cuts and increased taxes? Cortez says some of the specialty plates will generate revenue for drivers' education and electric vehicle charging, and the bill was negotiated by the late Senator Bill Ramos, who died unexpectedly this past weekend.
I don't think it's so much it's taking priority over more important things. It just so happens by random chance that it got revived at the last minute. Again, Senator Ramos, I attribute to helping to revive this bill.
Even though there's only 5 days left in the regular session and a lot of other issues for legislators to resolve, Cortez says there's a very high likelihood the bill will make it through, as lawmakers want to see Ramos's work be successful.
I'd like to hope that it happens this year. This has Senator Ramos's fingerprints all over it, and I'd like to be able to, pull this across the finish line, kind of as a tribute to him.
The committee vote is not yet scheduled for the bill, a necessary step to move forward with just days before session ends. In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
Central Washington University President Jim Wolpart joined over 300 other academic leaders in signing a statement against, quote, government overreach and political interference. The letter comes after Harvard University sued the Trump administration for freezing $2 billion in grants to the university. According to the Associated Press, the freeze was due to Harvard rejecting a list of demands by the administration that included a ban on face masks and ending diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. The joint statement says the leaders are open to constructive reform and do not oppose legitimate government oversight. Other Washington state colleges represented include the University of Washington, Whitman College, Gonzaga University, the Evergreen State College, and Pacific Lutheran University. A data breach recently occurred at the Grant County PUD and compromised the personal data of nearly 850 employees. Included in the breach were current employees and recent retirees who'd been on the payroll from March through April of this year. Employees were notified of the breach via a company email. Grant PUD's Compliance and Risk Senior Manager Glenn Pruitt says that this was not a cyber attack and no customer data was compromised. Since the investigation is ongoing, the PUD declined to provide further details about the breach. Customers with questions are encouraged to contact the PUD's Customer Service Department. A leader for the city of Chalan will retire this fall. Wade Ferris has been Chalan's city administrator since 2020, directing day-to-day operations and supervising all city departments. He previously held similar roles for the cities of Gig Harbor and Othello. Mayor Aaron McCardle called Ferris, quote, a steady hand and a trusted leader for Chalan. He plans to retire at the end of October. The city will begin its search for a new administrator next month. Coming up next, why is illicit fentanyl use on the rise in north central Washington but seemingly in decline in other states? We'll take a look in tonight's feature story. Unseasonably warm weather moves in tomorrow and continues through the weekend. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chalan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
It's Click It RV's 4th annual Family RV Sales Event, April 24th through the 27th. Get amazing discount prices from manufacturers from across the country, like Grand Design, StarCraft, and more. And get $2,500 over NADA for your trade. There's amazing financing with nothing down, low rates, and no payments for 90 days. And talk about giveaways. Win a StarCraft trailer or $30,000 in cash. There's free refreshments and games for the whole family. And just for fun, dunk your salesman in the dunk tank. So beat the coming tariffs and don't miss the 4th annual Family RV event at Click It RV, April 24th through the 27th.
Why is illicit fentanyl use on the rise in north central Washington but seemingly in decline in other states? Last year, there were about 45 overdoses for every 100,000 people in Chalan County. Garth Donald is the Mental Health and Substance Use Coordinator for the Chalan Douglas Health District. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE's Dan Kuntz asked him why the local numbers of fentanyl abuse seem to be bucking the national trend toward improvement.
The West Coast, and this goes back 20, 30 years, the West Coast tends to be behind the opioid epidemic issue 2 or 3 years. And so whatever we see develop in Philadelphia and New York and Atlanta, everything that happens over there, we know we have about a 2-year window until they end up on our coast. So contaminants, addiction rates, treatment facilities being built, we're always a little bit behind, so I'm not surprised that we are having an uptick through 2024. I do think with all the efforts that we're putting in, and all of our counties in Washington State are working really hard on this issue, I do think that our numbers will be declining 2025, 2026 moving forward.
Opioids is a big umbrella, but around our parts, and the first thing that pops into my mind is the F word, fentanyl.
Yeah, so fentanyl it's the big word right now. Fentanyl does have medical use. It is really important in say post-surgery pain management, but there is also a pretty heavy illicit supply of fentanyl that is around. The reason that we call it the opioid crisis is because while fentanyl is really bad, fentanyl is not alone. There are a lot of prescribed opioids that, again, are part of people's healing process that doctors prescribe that we still need to be careful about. These are very, very potent medications.
Even afterwards, even if you're still under the care of a primary care physician, post-surgery or whatever, this is when things can start spiraling a little sideways.
A lot of people will build up a tolerance to it. And right now we're still at a point, and it's very okay to be honest about this. A lot of folks are embarrassed that they are in daily pain or that they have to take opioids. It's really important that folks know that it's okay. It's okay if you got hurt. It's okay if you are healing, because if you're embarrassed about taking these kind of medications, you're not going to be willing to talk to your doctor. And so it's very important, if you are on opioids, if you got these prescribed, which again, part of pain management, make sure you have a good plan with your doctor about what it means to taper off. And when the pain is when the pain is over, what it looks like to slowly ramp down, to really make sure that your medication is secure, that other people in your household can't get it. And the big one is, this is not medication to be shared. Any prescription should not be shared, but and I'm sure you've seen it before. Your friend at the gym hurt their shoulder, someone on the job hurt their back, and it would make sense to give them one of these pain pills.
They reach into their gym bag and say, here, Jerry, take one of these.
Yes. That seems like a very natural thing to do. This is not aspirin. This is not Tylenol. This is not a medication that should be shared. It makes sense at the time, but because it's so potent, if you give it to someone who is not on a pain management plan with a doctor, you are setting them up for failure.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Wednesday was a good one. Just a fantastic weather day out there today. Looking down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Wenatchee Heights tower camera, lots of blue sky and light breeze out there today. Temperatures above normal, and that will be our trend as we head into the end of the week and into the upcoming weekend. For your Thursday, all kinds of sunshine. We're going to jump into those low 70s for highs on Thursday. By the time we get into Friday, and I think both Friday and Saturday, we are talking mid 70s, especially on Friday. A few more clouds on Saturday, also some breezy conditions Saturday. And by the time we get into the end of our weekend on Sunday, we'll cool back into the upper 60s with some clouds. And at least here in the Wenatchee Valley, we will see windy conditions to end our weekend. We'll get to all of that here in a second. But today's high temperature unofficially, beautiful at 68 degrees, 4 degrees above where we should be at 64 for this time of year. How about our record high from 2012? 87 degrees. That had to seem just hot, didn't it? Back in 2012, 39 this morning, our low temperature. Our normal low is around 42 degrees, so slightly below. 30, our record low, and that was set in 1985. Sunrise this morning at 5:57, and it sets tonight at 8:02. All right, let's get you into the forecast now as we get you to Thursday. And look at this map and these beautiful temperatures. Almost mid-70s, 74 Moses Lake and Ephrata, 73 in Quincy, and then just a touch cooler back to the west and to the north. We'll see low 70s, 72 Wenatchee, Eniat, Chalan, around 71 or so, 70 in Leavenworth, and 71. Beautiful day tomorrow afternoon for you folks in Kashmir. Tonight we do expect crystal clear skies with a ridge of high pressure over the Pacific Northwest. With those clear skies, we'll see seasonal lows. I don't think we'll see any more 30s for temperatures. I think mainly lower 40s overnight tonight, mainly in the Cascades where we'll see those 30-degree temperatures. And then the start of Apple Blossom 2025 tomorrow. And what a better weather day to do it. Sunny and warmer, high temperatures in the low 70s tomorrow. And as we get into Friday, even a little bit better, mostly sunny. It will be warmer with high temperatures Friday afternoon in the mid-70s. Great day to head over to the food court on Friday. And then on Saturday, of course, it's the Technoplex Youth Parade for Apple Blossom, and it looks just fantastic. A little bit breezy, but I wouldn't say windy for Saturday, mostly sunny. And how about these temperatures in the mid-70s? So a great day for a parade on Saturday. And then as we get into Sunday, there we go with those windy conditions all throughout central Washington. Mostly sunny skies as high pressure continues to strengthen out in the Pacific. We'll see high temperatures on Sunday. Still not too bad, right around the 70-degree mark. And then as we get you into next week, partly cloudy skies. A little trough of low pressure is beginning to develop off the coast, and that'll allow some clouds to move in. So partly cloudy, still a little breezy Monday for us, with high temperatures still on the mild side, with readings right around 70 degrees. And then for Tuesday, mostly cloudy skies. We'll see that trough of low pressure move through Montana and just leave kind of a mess behind it as far as clouds and scattered showers. Still pretty nice here in the Wenatchee Valley, with high temperatures Tuesday in the upper 60s. Here's your 7-day forecast. 43 overnight tonight, and these next couple of days, Thursday and Friday, 72 Friday, or Thursday, 74 on Friday, and then for the youth parade on Saturday, mostly sunny, just a little bit breezy, but look at that temperature, no worries, 75 degrees. We're talking downright windy with mostly sunny skies on Sunday and 70 degrees, and then partly to mostly cloudy for Monday and Tuesday. Still mild though, with highs in the upper 60s and lower 70s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
When you enjoy Abby's Pizza at your place, close your eyes and you can taste old-fashioned values, classic pizza parlor decor, and generations of tradition. Recreate that magic. Open your eyes and head to abbys.com. With pickup and delivery options, no matter where you dine, Abby's just tastes better. This is Skinny, and he helped found Abby's 60 years ago. In honor of Skinny, we're putting his favorite pizza on sale. Savory pizza sauce, Canadian bacon piled to the edge, and juicy tomatoes make this a very special pizza. Order your Skinny special right now at abbys.com.
Celebrate Apple Blossom with the Technoplex Youth Parade, Saturday, April 26th at 11 a.m. on the NCWLIFE channel. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington, Boswell's Home Furnishings, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. It's the Technoplex Youth Parade, Saturday, April 26th on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
NCWLIFE's news team is keeping an eye on North Central Washington. Join us each weekday evening at 5, 6, and 10 for the NCWLIFE Evening News, with interviews, in-depth reporting, and the kind of insights you can't find anywhere else. We're the hometown news station for the Wenatchee Valley, the Cascade Foothills, and up and down the Columbia River. Thanks for watching NCWLIFE, proud to be part of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival.
Happy Wednesday. Bryce Miller could not get out of the fourth inning, and the Mariners dropped an 8-3 decision at Boston last night. The game began with Seattle getting an early lead off the bat of Jorge Polanco in the top of the first inning. Boston countered later in the frame and eventually took the lead for good on the first of two doubles by former Astro Alex Bregman.
One out, nobody on, and the 1-2 to Polanco. This is shot deep out to right field. It sends Abreu at the wall, and this is gone. Jorge Polanco just keeps on hitting, and he mashes this pitch over the fence and right to put the Mariners in front early, 1-0. Now the Mariners have had some early offense on this road trip.
This is at 2 strikes as well. He gets a pitch he can absolutely handle as they begin.
Duran at third. Shot out to right. Raley is there. He'll make the play, and here comes the run on the sac fly. Jarren Duran will touch home, and the Red Sox quickly tie it. And the right hand is 1-2 to Bregman. That one down the line, rocketed at a fair ball. It goes all the way into the corner. In to score, Sadon. Raffy into third, and Bregman delivers.
Soft fly ball, right field, not especially deep. Raley having to cover some ground. Raley, a headlong dive to make the catch. And Strand runners at second and third base. This one really hung up there, and Raley able to get there just in time to get the Mariners out of a jam.
First and third, they lead. The pitch. Swinging on, drive into the gap, and left center field. That's down for extra bases. Sadon scores. Raffy coming to third. He's going to be waved home. Rodriguez to Crawford. Relay. Not in time. Bregman on the throw. Over to third with a foot bar slide. 2-run double. And it's 4-1 Red Sox.
He's looking for the fastball, and he gets it and barrels a one-hop laser beam to left center.
Into the soft spot, it drops in for a base hit. Williamson scores. Dylan Moore around third. He scores standing. J.P. Crawford with 2 outs brings the Mariners within a run.
Great job right there for J.P.
Big at bat turns the lineup card over, and the Red Sox go back to the bullpen here in the 6th.
High fly ball center field. Rodriguez backing up. It is gone. Home run, Tristan Casas. He gets it out to straightaway center. And the Red Sox blow it open. Oh, he was due. High into the night for a 3-run blast. His second home run of the year.
Boy, was that needed. Not for him.
We've recently had 6 games, 6 different start times.
Yeah.
Has taken off and a ground ball at second. The throw will get right by everybody. Durant with a collision. Here comes Avai's rounding third. And the flip, he's going to score. Durant dancing after second base. Red Sox lead at 8-3 as Seattle throws it around a bit. Rivas couldn't make the play. Poor throw by the bag, and the Sox were off to the races. He's gone 1 for 3 with a double. He'll fly that one left center field on the run. Sadon Raphael to the track. He's there to make the catch. 1, 2, 3, they go.
Seattle and Boston are playing the second of the 3-game sets at Fenway Park today on Root Sports Northwest. 2 will play a morning game our time tomorrow before the Mariners fly home to host the Marlins on Friday. Well, Texas increased its lead to 2 games over Seattle with an 8-5 win over the Athletics yesterday. Houston beat Toronto 5-1 to climb into a second-place tie with the Mariners. Pittsburgh pounded the Angels 9-3 to push the Halos to 2.5 games back of first place. Eastmont and Moses Lake dropped heartbreaking Big 9 soccer matches last night. Wildcats fell at Sunnyside 1-0, while the Mavericks dropped a 2-1 decision at West Valley. In CWAC play yesterday, Toppenish topped Tifreda 4-1, while Quincy beat Sela 3-1. Kashmir picked up an SCAC win over Count of Benton by a score of 4-0. In North Central A-B action, Manson blanked Omak 1-0. Cascade got by Liberty Bell 2-0. Bridgeport tripped Tonasket 2-0. Eastmont and Moses Lake baseball teams picked up wins yesterday. The Wildcats stopped Sunnyside 15-6, while the Mavericks downed Davis 13-3. Freda edged Quincy 5-3. Chalan shut down Omak 5-1. Okanagan edged Lake Roosevelt 3-2. Liberty Bell blanked Brewster 12-0. On the fast pitch diamonds yesterday, Wenatchee and Eisenhower split a doubleheader with the Cadets taking the opener 14-13. Panthers won the nightcap 19-7. Mount Size silenced Moses Lake 10-0. Ephrata swept Othello 8-5 and 4-3. Tonasket beat Bridgeport 16-1. Lake Roosevelt topped Okanagan 11-4, and Liberty Bell beat Brewster 18-17. The Cascade girls on the road at Liberty Bell today. Well, the Wenatchee Bighorns are back in action tomorrow night at Wenatchee Valley College, and NCWLIFE will be there. Wenatchee plays host to the Seattle Superhawks at 7 o'clock. Grant Olson has the play-by-play. Pregame getting underway on our Facebook page at 6:45. Sandy Cooprider is having to handle a little bit of everything right now for the Bighorns after his son and Wenatchee owner Sean Cooprider underwent heart surgery. Sandy says he's been getting a lot of help from the community and the players to make it all happen.
This is an all-volunteer organization, and if we didn't have the good volunteers that we've had, we wouldn't be where we're at. And so everybody's kind of stepped up a little bit. We're trying to take the stress away from Sean because he's obviously going through some pretty serious health issues, and we just want him to be healthy just like anybody else. And so our organizations have really stepped up. We've had some people from the community have offered to help us, and this is a community team, and this is what we want this community to have and feel like they have ownership in it.
Tomorrow's game continues a 7-game homestand for the Bighorns following tomorrow night's game. Wenatchee hosts first-place Great Falls Friday night at 7 o'clock, and then Willamette Valley Sunday at 3. Next week features 2 more games against Great Falls Thursday and Friday, and they'll finish the homestand against Vancouver May 9th at 7 o'clock. You can get your tickets, more information at WenatcheeBighorns.com. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Wednesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@NCWLIFE.com or call 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us tonight, and have a great night.